Well, with me is Susan Powell from the BBC Weather Centre. Susan, we were talking in a bit more detail last night as well about the terrible conditions this weekend. It really is an awful combination of things coming together. You know, those winds, the level of rainfall on already saturated ground and saturated rivers as well.
It's been a monstrous 12 hours across southern parts of England and South Wales. In some areas it's rained throughout the day and it's still going to carry on this evening. So we were talking about this last night. The Met Office has had an amber warning issued for the amount of rain, but we can now start to see the effects of that rain now. It's fallen, the flood warnings are starting to bump back up, and I think we're just in excess of 50 now, so they creep up. There's a slight time lag between the rain and us actually seeing the flood warnings recovering. But if we take a look at what we've had today, we've got a radar image. So what we saw last night actually was some forecast information. What we have there now is our radar picture, and that shows you where the rain spread to today. But it's those brighter colours just coming into the south that are probably really the last thing we need to see as we head through this evening. Those are the stronger echoes, if you like, on our radar picture, where we're going to see more intense rainfall in the next couple of hours. To give you some idea, the Isles of Scilly today have seen over 2 inches of rain in the space of 12 hours, and that's now transferring further north into Cornwall, so it's probably no great surprise that we've seen that river switch onto a severe flood warning, and we're going to just see that brush into South Wales as well in the coming hours. In terms of the rain, it should start to ease off significantly across the southwest of England and Wales as we shift to after midnight. But then actually we could be encountering our spell of strongest winds there. 50, 60 mile an hour gusts, and bear in mind all of that rainfall really loosens up the ground. I mean, it's absolutely, you could wring it out now, so there's definitely the possibility of perhaps trees and things coming down based on that. And further east, where we've escaped reasonably so far across the southeast of England and East Anglia, the strongest winds transfer later on this evening into the early hours of Sunday. So anyone who's perhaps trying to travel out of our ports or maybe going via the airport should just bear that in mind. I think those strong winds could cause some disruption as we go into the early part of Sunday. And still, of course, as I said, it takes a while for all of that water to drain down into the river systems. I certainly think even though it stops falling, we're still going to be dealing with the consequences tomorrow. And there's more to come on Monday.
Monday, Tuesday, what's that looking like?
Monday doesn't look clever at all either. Well, it's actually Sunday evening into Monday. That's the problem as well with these weather systems. Nothing necessarily about them is particularly exceptional for this time of year, but it's the rapid-fire, quick succession of them. So by the time we get into this time tomorrow, the next weather system is going to be pulling into exactly the same places, the southwest of England and Wales. And again, we could be adding to our totals another 50 millimetres of rain. So there's no real recovery period either for all of that water to subside. So I think Monday we're still looking at some significant issues, particularly to the west of the UK. But there's a lot of rain to come in the forecast, more widespread on Monday. Tuesday, a little bit quieter, but getting colder as we go into the new week. So hopefully that's a favourable shift for most people.
OK, well, definitely need to keep a close eye on the weather forecast for the moment.
Environment
Susan?
Agency websites are great for the flood warnings, and there's plenty of weather forecast information on the BBC website.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Susan. And you, of course, can keep up to date with what's happening with the weather in your area on BBC Local Radio. And as Susan was saying, via our website, just go to bbc.co.uk/weather. Now, Egypt's top judges have called for an immediate strike after President Mohamed Morsi's decision to assume